Alright, this is a manual hemoglobin method. This is cyan methemoglobin. We're going to use Drabkin's reagent and read it manually on the spec. We're going to take two 13 by 100 tubes and label them with our patient information. Make sure that when you label it, the labeling stays at the top of the tube, because the spec is going to read this portion of the tube, and we don't want the marker to be read as any kind of interference. Because remember, the spec reads stuff, not just hemoglobin. This is hematology, so we want to make sure our specimen is well mixed. We're going to start by pipetting 3 milliliters of Drabkin's into each of the two tubes. 1, and the count is not for your benefit, it's for mine. 2, 3, 1, 2, and this one is a quantitative measurement, so we need to be very careful when we're pipetting things. We're going to put the lid back on our reagents after we're done pipetting. We're going to pipette 10 microliters of blood, which means we're going to set this so it's 0, 1, 0. The line is the decimal point, and then 0. So we want exactly 10 microliters of blood. Mix our specimen. Push the pipette down to the first stop and release. We're going to bring it out. Now there's only 10 microliters that we are pipetting, which is like a fifth of a drop. So any blood that's on the outside of this pipette is going to increase our hemoglobin. So we want to make sure that we very carefully wipe off anything on the outside. Make sure you don't touch the tip so that you don't accidentally draw some out. We're going to put it down into the Drabkin's and rinse up and down until all of the blood is out of the tip. Leaving the button pushed down, we're going to pull the tip back out and then release. If you have any questions about pipetting, review the video that was done on pipetting. Same thing, we've got it set to 10. Push to the first stop, put it in, make sure it's properly filled with no bubbles. Wipe the outside and put it down into here. There's 2 ways we can mix this. One way is to create sort of a mini vortex by simply holding it gently at the top and petting it. And the second way is to take a piece of parafilm, parafilm the top nice and tightly, and invert it until it's well mixed. We found that if you let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes, it tends to give us a little bit better reading.